in today's Money Monday, in honor of the upcoming Juneteenth holiday, we are paying tribute to African-American leaders who have shaped the financial industry in our country. And joining us now is our favorite money guy, Kyle Wingfield from Finley Alexander Wealth Management. How are you?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
Good, good. We always bring you back for the finances, but you are an aficionado in several different fields, including being a history buff, correct?
Oh yeah, I love history. Love history.
All right. So tell us a little bit about Juneteenth. We'll start out there before we get into the contributions.
Okay, so if you're not aware of it, it happens June 19th. It commemorates the last the freedom of enslaved people in 1865. So the Emancipation Proclamation was passed by Abraham Lincoln in 1863, but 2.5 years later, Union General rolls into Galveston, Texas, and lets the enslaved people in Texas know that their government has secured their freedom. And so now they're free, so 2.5 years later. So I think the reason that's huge, it's been 156 years since that. And so celebrating Juneteenth is a big deal. It's been a big deal in my family since I've been alive.
Yeah, it's funny when you say 156 years, because that is not that long ago. And we like to pretend that it was so long ago. So really to magnify just all the strides that African Americans have made in this country for just that short amount of time, considering, I mean, obviously prior, but just that short amount of time is really remarkable and touching every industry, including the financial industry, really leaving a mark.
Oh yeah, so I'm going to give you 3 names. The first one is O.W. Gurley. Okay, he bought 40 acres in 1904 in a place called Tulsa, Oklahoma, which eventually became known as Greenwood, Oklahoma, for Black Wall Street. And he had a number of businesses. What I love about the Black Wall Street, Greenwood, Oklahoma story is it showed Black empowerment and Black economics. And a dollar in that community rotated, I think it changed hands 19 times, and they had their own system, banks, post offices, everything. So go do some more research on Greenwood. The second name, let's go to our women, Ernesta Procope. She founded E.G. Bowman Commercial Insurance and did a lot of moves on Wall Street. Well, she's still with us today. I think she's about 90 years old. But here's the deal. What she did with E.G. Bowman, she named it after her late husband. What she did in the commercial insurance industry was she single-handedly ended redlining in the commercial insurance industry. So that was huge, and she's still with us, a trailblazer, still making strides. The third name, Alonzo Herndon, a former enslaved person who founded the Atlanta Insurance Company. Boom. And so much more. Right now, I think it's Kenneth Frazier. He is the chairman and CEO of Merck & Company, the first African American to be the head of a pharmaceutical company. He is now retiring in June of this year. Okay, June 2021, he's going to be done. But he led Merck & Company. That's huge.
That is a
lot of trailblazers.
It's amazing just to imagine having that drive and that commitment to push forward back then. And now, this early history as well. I just think about the fortitude that takes.
Oh, yeah. Like the perseverance. I think sometimes it's so important to get history accurate and not try to push things aside, because I think what you find in that is not that it makes another group look vilified because they were doing something to another group. What it does is it actually promotes healing and also is incredibly inspirational, because especially when it goes to representation, especially for African Americans, when you start to find out that your history didn't start as enslaved people and that you were not savages, but in fact, you did some massive things and you have contributed massive amounts of good, and despite being systemically banished, institutionalized, all that stuff. No matter what, keep pushing forward. So I love the story that history can tell to all of us.
This is such powerful information, and especially to share around this time. How do you think Americans should celebrate or honor Juneteenth?
Right now they're pushing for a federal holiday in Congress. I don't see why they need to push. But again, Juneteenth just shows that equality, equal access, and equal acknowledgement has always been hard fought for African Americans. But here's the thing. I think it should be celebrated as a federal holiday. If it's not, it's on us. Let's celebrate it. Let's tell that story, because it's inspirational to all of us as Americans moving forward.
Absolutely. Well, we want to thank you for taking the time, for giving us this history lesson today. Of course, we all need to be reminded of, how far this country has come and us as African Americans in this country as well. We want to get in touch with you, not just for the history lessons, but for our actual financial health. How do we do that?
FinleyAlexander.com, and hang out with us on social media. Go to Instagram, hang out with Finley Alexander Wealth, because you get a nice mix of better perspectives on money, personal finance, and also a little bit of history.
All right, Kyle Wingfield from Finley Alexander Wealth Management. We appreciate you being here, and we'll be right back with more Midday Maryland right after this. Stay tuned.